Okay, so a lot of people have been like requesting me to do story time videos, and because I literally have so many story times that I'm literally saving later because I'm gonna wait until like time passes by between them. This story is about how this psychopath I knew in high school, which I have long history with, how she pretty much just trashed my friend's house like the crazy psychopath she is. So I'm gonna be using code names for these videos because I obviously don't want to use their real names. So I have not planned this video. Anyway, there's no book beside me or anything, so I'm doing this from the top of my head because I remember this pretty clearly. Okay, so this happened in year 11, and we were in a group of friends that were, half of us were in year 10 and half of us were in year 11, and she was in year 10. So this girl, I'm gonna call her Selena. I don't know. Alright, so this girl Selena, me and her were joined at the hip. Like, we were absolute close friends, you know, and she did a lot of wrong things, and I've always stuck by her because I always considered her my really close friend, right? So this girl, I'm gonna call her Shelly. So this girl Shelly, she was gonna have a party at her house, and we didn't have a lot of house parties, so it was a big deal. Right, so we invited some people from like other schools to come to this party and all this stuff. So there was this guy, I'm gonna call him Jake. So this guy Jake came along, and I think he's like one of the only couple guys that were at the party, right? So when we were heading to Shelly's house, Shelly was talking to Jake, and Selena was talking to Jake, and so they were all kind of like, you know, kind of competitive with each other, and that time I had a boyfriend, so I was just like not interested in boys. I just wanted to go there and just dance and drink. And so we get to Shelly's house, and you know, the party's set up and everything. So we get in like to a big circle, and we play like spin the bottle or something, or like truth or dare, and so while we're playing, right, the dares are just like stupid, and it's like, I dare you to kiss this, I dare you to, you know, just typical teenage stuff. And obviously I had a boyfriend at the time, so all of this was like very boring to me, and I was just like, what are you gonna dare me? Like, this is so boring. But anyways, so what was it? Yeah, so they dared the guy Jake and Selena, the crazy psychopath, to go into a room for like 7 minutes in heaven, whatever, and stuff. And so they're there. When they came out, they were just like, oh, we just kissed and all that stuff, right? So they came out, and then we're playing about like fucking, I don't know, 3 hours later. We're getting all drunk and everything and dancing, and we start playing again, and then Selena pulls me aside, and she's like, oh, I have a really big crush on Jake. And because she's my best friend, she's telling me all this, and she was just like, but, you know, Shelly, but he seems like he's really into Shelly. And I was just like, man, like, that's a hard thing, because they were close friends as well, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe you should just like take a step back. This is her party, you know. She kind of just like, she like hosted this party, so just like give it to her, you know. And then, you know, I'm just getting kind of bored because obviously I had a boyfriend at the time, so I was just kind of like doing nothing. What do you call it? Shelly and Jake, they go into the room to play 7 minutes in heaven, but they're there for a while, and like obviously us little kids were like listening at the door, hearing what they're doing, right? And they were just like, oh my god, they're like hooking up and all that shit, being like all childish and everything. And then this girl Selena gets really mad. She goes upstairs to like where her mom's room is, where you're not supposed to be. And because Shelly was in the room, she couldn't see that this was all happening. And she goes upstairs, right? She gets lube and puts it all over the floor. She gets aloe vera like cream, whatever, and she like trashes the floor completely. And then she comes downstairs, and I'm in the bathroom. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just sitting there like drunk, and she gets toothpaste, and she smears it on the windows, and she smears it on the side of the sink. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was just like really shocked, like, and I was really drunk too, so I was like, man, what are you doing? Like, are you that drunk or something? And she was just like, she's like, ugh! She was like that. She was like, ugh! I'm so mad at Shelly. And I was like, why? And then she was just like, because she's hooking up with Jake. And I was just like, well, did you tell Shelly that, like, you wanted to, like, base Jake? Like, why couldn't you just talk about it? And then and then she was just like, oh, I'm just so mad and all this shit, right? And then other people are just in the living room just fucking talking and being drunk and shit. And then I don't know what, I don't remember what else she did, but I remember Shelly came out of the room with Jake, and everyone's like, oh my god, they hooked up and all this shit, right? And then I think Shelly went upstairs and it's 3:30, and like freaked out or whatever. I don't know what happened because I wasn't upstairs. And she came down and she was just like, guys, who put aloe vera and lube on the floor of my mom's room? Everyone was just like I didn't do it, like, obviously. And Selena's just there like being drunk. I don't know. So the thing about it is that she wasn't doing it because she was drunk. She was doing it out of spite. Like, she was so mad. She was livid at the fact that Shelly was hooking up with Jake, even though they didn't even talk about it. And they literally met this guy this night, you know? And then so I go upstairs. We all go upstairs to see, like, the shit on the floor. And I'm just like, I obviously know who did it. I didn't see Selena do it, but I saw her when I was in the bathroom. She put the toothpaste on the mirror and then on the side of the sink. So I was like, I obviously know who this is. And she's like, honestly, who did this? And Shelly's just like really mad because it's her mom's room and we weren't allowed to go upstairs. And then so she comes down and then like later on, like as in like 2 or a minute later, she goes to the bathroom and she's like, who did this? And she's just like, this is ridiculous. So then like all of us girls who are friends with her, we start cleaning up after her mess. At this point, I'm mad because I'm cleaning up after a girl who just went fucking crazy and just trashed her best friend. They were in the same year as well. Like they were, every time we were in school, like they were always together. They were like the Terror Twins, you know? And so I was just like, cleaning up after this bitch's mess, but me and her were really close as well. So I didn't want to tell Shelly about what happened because I knew Shelly would be really mad. I didn't want to get in between it, you know, I just didn't want to get in between it. And then there was this other guy at this party and he was very quiet. Like this guy was very quiet. I remember he was like half finished. I thought he was like really quiet. I kind of felt sorry for him because he was so quiet. And then so after that, the boys leave. You know, the house is clean and everything. Like we cleaned all this shit up after this bitch, right? We were all like in the circle and we're like about to go to bed, like having our slumber moment. And then we were all talking about like who we thought did it. Selena was like, it was that guy, the quiet guy. And I was just like, and I felt bad because he was like really quiet, like he wasn't really socializing or anything. I didn't say anything. I have a big regret not saying anything, but I understand why I didn't, because I didn't want to point the finger at who I considered my best friend, you know? Everyone in the group then all says, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. And someone literally says like, yeah, I think I saw him in the bathroom smearing the toothpaste. And I'm sitting there like, I saw Selena do it. Like, I didn't say it. I was like, I saw Selena do it, but people are just like telling us that he did it, and I don't know if they also saw her did it and they were trying to cover her as well, because I was trying to cover for her. And I know a lot of people will be like, how does that make her a psychopath? It just makes her, you know, like a crazy teenager. Like, I call her a psychopath because I've like gone through our friendship with her, and like one big reason why I left school is because of her. And I might even start a series about this psychopath, but I don't really. It just like kills my brain thinking about her as well. It sucks because we didn't have a lot of house parties in Taiwan. Every time we did, it was like a big deal because we never really had them. Like, we're a very small island and we're an expat community, so there wasn't a lot of house parties. And the fact that her like mom trusted us with the house, like her mom was okay with it, and then the fact that Selena went out of her way to just like trash the house and just like pour lube like legit all over her mother's floor. And I'm like, maybe I would understand if she trashed like Shelly's room, like I could kind of understand like the anger, but like it was just such a selfish and crazy act. And when I saw her eyes, like when she was putting the toothpaste on like smearing it on the mirror, she was just like, she was mad, but she looked like she was doing, like she looked like she was in the right, like she was just like doing it. She's just like yeah, like Shelly's hooking up with Jake, you know, like it was like, obviously I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, are you stupid? Like, is it so hard to just communicate with your friends these days? That like killed my brain. Okay, so the moral of this story is pretty much don't always defend your friends when they're doing something wrong. And I'm saying this from experience. I've always been the one who defended my friends even if they've done something wrong. And I've changed my way of doing that. I try to stick with what I believe is right, and sometimes what I believe is right is not what everybody believes is right at the same time. But it's like, if your friend fucks up and hurts another friend intentionally in a way that's like very fucking malicious, very malicious, that's the word. Don't always back up your friends even if you know, they're your friends, but at the same time, if they're doing something wrong and it's a continuous habit where they have this kind of malicious intent, then I think it's really important to stay true to yourself and stay true to the other friends you have. And I'm sorry for this rant. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so the video I suggest today is by this girl. She's from Finland and she has a Finnish accent. I love listening to Finnish accents because it makes me like feel like I'm at home, or like I trust them because it's like you know, my family, like most of them have Finnish accents. So I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's either Ida Vane or like Ida Vane. But I love all of her videos, and she doesn't have as many subscribers as I want her to. She has really good quality videos, take my word on it, and I hope you guys do enjoy watching her, because one day if I go to Finland I would love to collab with her. So hope you guys have an awesome day, and yeah.